Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another Wednesday night, the fundamentals to gain inner peace with your host, Coach Menachem Bernfeld. We're going to spend a few minutes to pause, some refreshing pause, managing stress before Pesach. And like I mentioned many times, any time that things are out of routine, it brings up for everybody something different. So especially when it's Pesach time, there's a lot of stuff coming up and there's a lot of awareness. And sometimes we like it, sometimes we don't. But we're learning how to step aside and see what's going on. Becoming aware of what's going on. What am I feeling? There's no right or wrong. So the next 2 or 3 weeks and Pesach, there will be a lot going on. So we'll be able to become aware, see if we can do something about it. Sometimes we can't. Which, as long as we're aware of it, as long as we're aware. Okay. So let's get started. Let's check in, see where we are. Just to become aware of where you're coming from, where you're up to, what's on your mind. You've found a few minutes to come and take some time off, which is amazing. But it's always good before we start to see where you are. You can share in the chat. Some people feel hectic, stressful. Last week, somebody mentioned there was a part of them that wanted to go to sleep and wake up after Pesach. And we don't dismiss parts, so we listen to them. And it makes sense. That part does not want to be involved. You can talk to it, find out what's going on. Overwhelmed, different memories come up. And then there are those who sometimes people are all alone and they don't have to do much. And they hear other people complaining, there's so much going on. They're thinking, oh, I wish. So again, everybody in their place where they are, to be aware. If you feel you're bored, just be aware of that. Maybe you can get yourself some activity. Your mind might say activity before Pesach. Well, maybe. Everybody's different. I don't know where you are, but you should spend some time with yourself to see where you are, what you need. Different memories come up. Very good. Self-compassion helps a lot. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. It is what it is. You do you. Beautiful. Beautiful. I had a lot of trauma before Pesach. Yes, the body keeps the score. So just being aware of what comes up. I mentioned last week, before Corona, the Rabbanim came out with a few guidelines for those, they understood that most people, there's a lot going on, family at home, not much time. So they want to let you know what's important, what's something that you can't just give up, and other things you can wait till after Pesach. But it's very important. We want to do everything before Pesach and we want to do it before perfect. And our mind knows how to do that, just to make it stressful. Now we need to learn how to talk back to that and say, here we are again. Every year you want to do this perfect, it's not going to work. We don't have to do everything. Let's sit down, write down what do I need to do, and other things can be done after Pesach. Beautiful. Okay, thank you for sharing. Fine. So let's go. Let's get a little bit grounded. Let's spend a few minutes together here, some time off. I hope you're not listening to this while you're cleaning. And if you are, it's okay. At least you're aware of that. So here we are. We can do some exercises just to get in touch with our energy, rubbing our hands, taking a deep breath. You can rub your hands, warm it up, just see the feeling, feel the feeling. Take a deep breath. Beautiful. Then you can shake it out. Ah, stretch. Just being aware of what the body feels, the energy in the ear, energy in the body. Take a deep breath in and let it all out. Try to relax. Beautiful. Another deep breath all the way in. You can hold and let it out. One more time. Deep breath in. Hold for 2-3 seconds and then let it out. Just be aware of what your body feels. Maybe it's relaxing a little bit. And now you can put one hand on your heart, the other hand on your stomach. Close your eyes and just be there. Regular breathing. Here I am. Just become in touch with compassion, connecting with yourself, no matter what's going on. Things will work out. I'm okay. Whatever you need to tell yourself, I give you the permission. Something that makes you feel good. Beautiful. Okay, so here we are. So it's always important to be aware, and we try to zoom out to look at it from the outside. So we become aware of what are the stressors, what do I feel? I feel stressed out or I don't. What's on my mind? And maybe we can come up with some ideas to make things a little bit easier. But even before that, just to be aware. We discussed many times, I'm not my thoughts, I'm not my emotions. But to get there takes time. To be able to disconnect totally and say, it's not me. One day, we'll be able to get there. Let the feelings come up and let it go. But many times when I feel stressed, I feel anger, I feel upset, I feel overwhelmed. It's how I feel. It's me, it's my world. What's going on? So he can tell me it's not me. So we're not going to go there. So for now, it's just becoming aware of where I am and what does my mind tell me about the next few weeks, whether it's getting ready or Pesach itself, and just being aware of it. And if it makes me stressed and I don't feel good about it, just be aware of that. So that's step number one, becoming aware of where I am and what's going on in my mind, what's going on in my body. Like some of you shared already, just the plans for Pesach can be overwhelming. You're not sure where you're going to be. You're waiting for somebody to invite you. You want people to join you. They haven't called yet. And the mind starts working. Just be aware. Things we don't like, we do like. And it's important to realize that we're coming with a lot of years of experience, whether, ups or downs, whatever it is, but our mind thinks the same way already. We might want to find a new way of thinking. But step number one is be aware. What are you carrying in your bag when it comes to this time? A lot of work to do. The to-do list is too long. Yes, exactly. Just becoming aware. I cannot emotionally and mentally get myself to start thinking of Pesach. There's just too much going on. We become frozen, fight and flight, frozen. You know what? Today I'm not going to do anything because our mind just puts everything at once, the full picture. And you can't do that now. So we shut down. Beautiful. Just being aware of that. Maybe soon we'll come up with some ideas, but for now, okay. Stressed, edgy, impatient. Very good. A lot of concerns. So you see how your mind takes you for the future. Is it going to work out? It's not going to work out. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. A good exercise is to think, what do you want it to be like? What does it look like when it works out? And what does it look like when it doesn't work out? A lot of self-care. Yeah, it's a good idea. And many are worried for Pesach itself. Other people's stress. But you're ahead of the game. We're all ahead of the game by just being aware of it. A good practice is you wake up in the morning, say Moidani, take a deep breath, and you're aware of where your mind takes you. I decided on making the simplest Pesach prep. Amazing. I don't know how old you are. I don't know when you decided this, but I decided this years ago. Not too many people can do that. Not too many people can do that. You know, the rooms that are clean and nobody eats there. Beautiful. You'll clean it one day after Pesach. You want a spring cleaning. You got to wipe down the counters, you know. There are ways how to do it, you know, call your local rabbi, but it doesn't have to be that hard. Um, I didn't read the article, but I saw Rabbi Ephraim Goldberg wrote, if it takes you more than a day, you're doing it wrong. Okay, we got to read it. Beautiful. Okay, so that's the step number one, is just being aware. Now let's give it a moment, you know, sit with it for a minute. And without judgment, with compassion. You allow the feelings to come up, you allow the thoughts to come up, you're seeing what's going on, you can write it down, and you're aware of what you're feeling. You're not suppressing. Take a deep breath and just say, this is what I'm feeling. I do like it. I don't like it. That's okay. That's beautiful. Okay, we're not pushing it away. We're not running away from it. We see it. We listen to it. Like like a little child, you know, complaining about certain things. You listen. Like, wow, tell me more. Tell me more. Wow. Might share something you haven't shared in years. Like, wow, how do you manage all these years? You never told me. Well, you never really listened to me. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm here for you. Tell me more. Beautiful. Okay, so now let's brainstorm together some small ideas, something small that works for you that can make things a little bit easier to help you And like I mentioned, the awareness itself is, that itself makes you feel a little bit lighter. I'm okay. If you're feeling stressed, don't think you're crazy. It's normal. We all feel what we feel, and it makes sense. So step number one, you say, wow, what's going on? And then you tell yourself, I heard that I'm okay. I didn't think so, but now I think, yeah, maybe if other people feel the same way, I guess it's normal. It's important you tell yourself it's normal. And then we can come up with something. What can I do? What's something small that I can do? You can share in the chat something that comes up for you. Buy yourself something. Yes, and it could be something small. Extra therapy, cleaning help. Very good. Very good. Taking a walk, 5 minutes. Relaxation. Beautiful. And it always goes back to self-care. Make sure you get the sleep you need, eat healthy, drink water, take your vitamins. That's step number one. You don't do that, and then all the stress and all the other stuff come on. It gets hard. So yeah, self-care, journaling every day for a few minutes. Put on some music. Beautiful. Write a poem. You can write yourself a letter when you have time. Write yourself something nice. Just write. You're being aware of what you're feeling, and I'm with you. We're gonna do this together. And put it somewhere where nobody has to see it. It's just for you. But when you see it, it just gives you that, compassion, that feeling of, okay, yes, there's a lot going on, but I'm okay. Beautiful. It's a good idea. Mindfulness, reading a book. And again, some people think they have to take a few hours off or spend a lot of money. That gets in the way. We're not discussing that now. We're discussing something small for a few minutes. It shouldn't be on the expense of anybody, Everybody's sleeping, Baruch Hashem, it's calm. Now take a few minutes for yourself. Just look back and give yourself some kind words. Like, wow, yes, there's a lot to do. I didn't do everything, but that's okay. Some people want to read about Pesach to be more connected. Yes, that's a form of self-care. You want to be part of it. You don't want to be disconnected. Some people feel disconnected. Some people want to be disconnected. Again, no judgment. Just being aware of what's coming up. There's an idea that's something is called an anchor. You can find like a small object that's going to remind you. Just remind you, you put it on the shelf. Nobody knows what it is, but when you look at it, makes you feel good. I had a friend that changed jobs. It was hectic. There was a lot going on. I had a small dolphin, small miniature made out of plastic. And I went over to him and I said, he shares what's going on. I said, this is for you. Keep it in your pocket. Every time you feel there's a lot going on, gets a little bit hard, just hold on to it. And it's going to remind you, Gamze Yavor, you'll just continue, do what you need to do. So you can find something, you look around the room, something small, you anchor something to it, like a mindset, some compassion, put it on the shelf. It's there for you. Every time you look at it, you can continue. Very good, very good. Set intentions. Yes, you can set intention in the middle of the day, beginning of the day, journaling. Yeah, becoming aware of even the small things that you did. Chair yoga flow and Japanese cardio. Okay. 4-minute routines that you can do sitting down, and they work beautiful. Maybe one day you'll teach them to me and we'll talk about it. Mitzvah. Yeah, I've heard of the chair yoga. You do it when you're sitting down. You don't have to get away from the chair, which is good. You got a cabinet done. Let's celebrate. Celebrate. That's amazing. Take a big sticker, write on it. Done. Then you can go to sleep. Geschmack. Okay, yeah, so that's the idea. Becoming aware of what's going on, what I'm feeling, what is something small that I can do. Something small that I can do that helps me to calm down. I mentioned many times for me, even taking 5 minutes off doing nothing, spacing out, disconnecting. If it's nice weather, you can do it outside, taking walks in nature, small walks around the corner, around the block. If you can do that, just going away from the area, it helps. Let's say you're busy in the kitchen, so there's you're cleaning and you want a break, go to a different room, sit down. It's a different energy. You see different things come up, and you can be there. Very good. Just know that 8 days passes by fast. Good for some people. For other people, it's such a long time. I send Pesach cards to others, especially those in nursing homes. Beautiful. A lot of people would love to know how you have so much time. But once you know how to do it, that shouldn't take too long. But you know you're doing something and that's how you connect. That works for you, makes you feel good. That's amazing. Especially doing for others, doing something small for others. But as long as it's not on your own expense, because many people have a hard time doing self-care, they'd rather take care of everybody else, but not myself. We're here to learn how to, you know, what do I need? What do I need? Beautiful. Okay, so let's just end the night with a little bit again, seeing where we are now after talking about this, becoming aware, seeing something small that could help. Take a deep breath and see if you feel a little bit different than 20 minutes ago. Just becoming aware. Where am I now? Maybe I can do this. Maybe I'm okay. Maybe it's normal. Just becoming aware, and you can share in the chat what you're feeling. Yes, writing these encouraging words to yourself. I'm doing great. I am normal. I am okay. Write them down. Feel more relaxed, rested. Maybe I can do this. Yes, you can. Beautiful, beautiful. For those who are going to hotels, those who are not going think that over there is the answer. That's the answer. And those who go know the truth. Well, for many people it works. For others, it can be stress. Again, just being aware. Where am I? What am I looking for? What are my expectations? Why do I feel this way? I still feel anxious. Just be aware of the feeling. Just see where you feel it. What's the thought behind it? And then you can ask yourself, now, in this moment, am I okay? And see what comes up. Because usually it's a thought of maybe the past, thought of the future. But usually in this moment, especially if you're here now, listening to me, You're probably good. But you worry there's so much to do. Yeah, that's true. Let's wait a few minutes. But now, in this moment. So for now, we can let go. Try to let go, maybe. But you don't have to. Just be aware of the feelings. Aware of the feeling. Beautiful. Okay, so this is it. And basically what we did tonight is something that you can do on your own. Spend a few minutes with yourself. Be aware of where you are, what's going on, what's coming up. Don't push it away. Be there. And then you can look for that small thing that works for you. And that's why I always recommend you should always have in your pocket a few ideas so that when you can't think and when you think it's just not working out, I've tried this so many times, it's not helping. You know, your mind tells you, no, 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 it's not going to work. Pull out that thing from your pocket. Go take a walk. Go take a walk. Do the journaling. Do some deep breaths. Because while you're in that space, it can be dark. It can be heavy. It can be hard. And you don't think there's any way out. That's when you need to have that red button. The ideas that you have that you can do and make you feel a little bit better. Okay, very good. Thank you very much. You can put your questions in the chat. Here's a great question. Thank you very much. Is there a way how to lessen the anxiousness, the anxious heartbeat in the moment? Great question. So first of all, becoming aware of it can help. I was just seeing, don't try to change it because many times we're anxious that we're anxious. Why do I feel anxious now? And you become more anxious. So just be aware and see it. Go boom, 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 boom. Just listen to it and be there. Trying to take a deep breath. Sometimes it's hard. So just focus on your breath. In and out. In and out. And slowly you'll see change, hopefully. Is allowing the heartbeat to race increasing the anxiety on the long run? Well, it might be decreasing because you're not fighting it. You're being aware of it. You're not scared of it. Beautiful. What's the thought behind the feeling? Yes, you're very welcome. That's a good question. Always to ask yourself, what's that thought behind the feeling? Not always do we have an answer. And that's okay. The body keeps the score. The body, one day hopefully we'll talk about it, but the body sometimes even with a smell, with different memory, different thing triggers, and you start feeling, you don't even know why. But that's okay. Just be aware of that feeling and you say, it's okay. Something must have came up. When I started doing this work, I started, with a smell, a swift. I was many times able to connect it to years ago. It was very interesting. It's just a little smell, and if it can slow down. Again, slowing down is always the answer, but many people are too busy. But if you can slow down and see where your mind goes with that smell, sometimes it takes you to a very young age. Your grandmother's house. It can be like a memory. You don't know why it's making you feel a certain way, but that's okay. Just being aware of what you're feeling. Beautiful. Okay, so thank you very much for joining. Thank yourself for taking some time off. You can always do this when it works. Try to do every day a little bit. Keep up the great work you're doing. And
Thanks for the great
find the
ideas.
things that work for you. And Emetz Hashem, we'll meet next week. We'll see where you are. Any questions that I didn't get to answer, you can always email coachmenachem@gmail.com. Hopefully I'll get some time to respond. Have a great night and a beautiful week.
Thank you for the great ideas.